All right, I think that works. Hello, hello. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday Warble. Finally. And apologies for last week. I did not get a 3-song set up because, first of all, I found myself without my guitar amp for a couple days when I was planning to record it. And I was like, that's okay, I've still got time to record it at this other friend's house. But then they didn't have any internet, so I had no way to upload it. So we missed a week. We missed a week last week. But the reason we missed a week because I was off on adventures, and so we will have our theme this week to be adventures, and we're going to start with the way adventures around here start with packing the car. Turn off my cold morning air, cold morning mist, calm morning stillness greets me. Sip my coffee and wait for the fog to clear. Get up early with the dawn, load the car up, hit the road. Warm up the car, turn on the tunes, signal turn out of the driveway. Sip my coffee and head for the highway. Get up early with the dawn, load the car up, hit the road. Did you lock the back door? Did I turn off the stove? Did we check the lights and windows? Are we turning around? Did you pack the flashlight? Did I check on the spare? Do we have maps and space blankets? Are we ready? Get up early with the dawn, load the car up, hit the road. Clouds up ahead, clouds turning grim. Pull over, storm clouds open and release. Pull over and wait for those clouds to pass. Get up early with the dawn, load the car up, hit the road. Bags all ready, luggage stowed. Get up early, hit the road. All right, so there we go. We begin our adventures by packing the car. And do let me know about the sound. You didn't quite make it back by one. Well, you missed a bit of the first song. We've got, I've been rearranging my studio a little bit, so the mic, as you may be able to tell, is in a completely different spot. And if that is causing me to be like inaudible, or the guitar, I'm hoping that this will get more of my voice and less of the guitar, and it'll be a good balance. But do let me know if the sound seems off in any way. Sounds good, sounds great. Yay, yay, and welcome in, Marlis, welcome in, David, good to see you again. And I'm going to just press buttons so that I don't lose my screen. So, the theme today is adventure, and the next song, well, you know, this is a song about going off to war, I guess, which is often sold to young men as let's go off and have adventures. But this is about King Darius of Persia and his attempt to conquer Scythia back in the day, and basically Darius thought they'd just kind of stroll in and the Scythians would probably just see their army and immediately surrender. But that's not what the Scythians did. The Scythians took the Persians on a wild goose chase for a couple of months before finally lining up to fight them. And then when they finally lined up to fight, a rabbit popped between the two armies, and the Scythians decided to chase the rabbit instead of fighting the Persians. And at that point, Darius and the Persian army kind of determined that maybe these people held them in contempt, and perhaps they were better off not sticking around trying to conquer them. So it's a bit of an adventure. So I think that fits. And I think the only other thing that really is required to get the lyrics are that back in the day, back in 450 BC, they didn't wave white flags to surrender. They gave the gift of earth and water. Never have I been held in such contempt, never have I been the object of such disdain, never have I felt such mockery and scorn. We came here anticipating triumph, we came expecting victory would be swift. We at least believed that there would be a battle, and we'd sail on to conquer other lands. For 2 long months they chased us through the grasslands. For 2 long months they chipped at our defense. They came with the fall of night to loot our campgrounds. For 2 long months they refused to stand and fight. Well, I was told they didn't live in cities, and I was told they had no crops to burn. Why should they be in any hurry to face defeat at my army's hands? Never have I been held in such contempt, never have I been the object of such disdain, never have I felt such mockery and scorn. They sent a man with the gift of a bird, a mouse, a frog, and arrows 5. When asked what it meant, he gave no response, just said, if you're clever, you'll figure it out. Well, mice live on land and frogs in the lakes. Birds are like horses and arrows mean strength. I told myself that this was earth and water. I told myself this meant we would prevail. They recognized my might military, convinced myself that they were here to yield. And so I went to honor their surrender and found them waiting to defend their land. I thought back on the words of my advisors, dismissed, buried, knowing they were true. Be like the frog, be like the bird and fly into the heavens. Be like the mouse and burrow deep. Be like the frog and hop into the water. With these arrows we will cut you down. chose that moment to amble in view. Our threat cast aside, our presence forgot, understanding dawned as the rabbit took off. Made it perfectly clear what they thought of us, as one by one they turned and gave chase. Never have I been held in such contempt, never have I been the object of such disdain, never have I felt such mockery and scorn. I really think we should go home. Alright, so let's chase the hare. And I'm going to do a cover now. And this, well, you know, when I do a theme on jobs or poor working conditions. Actually, yeah, I grouped these two together because they're kind of like, maybe there's better jobs out there. But I felt that a lot of the jobs mentioned in this song are adventurous somewhat, so it deserved to be in this set today. I was a highwayman. I'll start that again. I was a highwayman. Along the coach roads I did ride, sword and pistol by my side. Many a young maid lost her baubles to my trade. Many a soldier shed his lifeblood on my blade. The bastards hung me in the spring of 25, but I am still alive. I was a sailor, I was born upon the tide, and with the sea I did abide. I sailed a schooner round the Horn of Mexico. I went aloft to furl the mainsail in a blow. And when the yards broke off, they say that I got killed, but I am living still. I was a dam builder across a river deep and wide, and when I reached where steel and water did collide, a place called Boulder on the wild Colorado, I slipped and fell into the wet concrete below. They buried me in that gray tomb that knows no sound, but I am still around. And I'll always be around and around and around and around and around and around and around. I'll sail a starship across the universe divide, and when I reach the other side, I'll find a place to rest my spirit if I can. Perhaps one day become a highwayman again, or I may simply be a single drop of rain, but I will remain, and I'll be back again and again and again and again and again and again and again. You've never heard that one before? That's The Highwayman. The Highwayman by The Highwayman, which is Willie Nelson. There's a supergroup. Who was in it? Was it Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, and Waylon Jennings? I think that's it. And each one of them had a different verse. And it's a great song. It does bring those tears. It brings those tears a little. It brings those tears a little, for sure. It is a teary song, but a great song. It's a great song. I do that one. I do that. I bet you have heard me do that before. Maybe you haven't. but I do it a fair bit. I often do it if Kara is around because she's a big Highwayman fan. Is this the next song on the list? It is. So we're moving. Oh, am I gonna? Yeah, we will do it next. We will do things in order that I had them originally. We're going to move into a little 4-song subsection of this adventure-themed show, which are all songs about Newfoundland, which is a slightly adventurous place to live. And let's see, we have an arc of true... There are varying degrees of truth in the next number of songs. But this one was inspired by an adventure that I went on with my best friend a couple of years ago. We went horseback riding in Grossmourne National Park, and if you ever get a chance to visit Grossmourne National Park on Western Newfoundland, I highly suggest you do because it's beautiful. We went on a 2-day horseback riding adventure, and we were supposed to ride for 4 or 5 hours, with breaks, enjoy the scenery, and then stay in a cabin, and then get up the next morning and ride for 4 or 5 more hours. And it was me, my best friend, and our guide. And our guide had worked there for many years, since she was a teenager, but she had gone away to college and was coming back and just sort of filling in. So she hadn't done the trail in a couple of years, and we were doing the trail backwards because there had been flooding and there was a river to cross, and we were like, well, we're going to go the opposite way because the river should be gone down by the time we need to ford it. And anyway, she took a wrong turn, and our 4-hour horseback ride turned into an 8-hour horseback ride that ended with us on the highway flagging someone down. Also, it was the day of the Rogers outage, so the wireless, like one of 2 companies that provides all wireless phones they'd just gone down completely across Canada for the whole day. So we couldn't, not that there's not great cell coverage there anyway, but we probably could have called someone from some mountain, but we couldn't call anyone because there was no cell service. So yeah. So meanwhile, I'm on this horse for 8 hours, and my horse's name was Sprocket, which is the name of this song. And the other 2 horses, my best friend and the guide, who are horse people, by the way, they had these, like, what are like Black Beauty and Wild Stallion. Well, they didn't have stallions, but they had, the kind of story tale, gorgeous mares with flowing manes who were upright and gracefully trotting, walking, running beautifully as horses do through the trails. And I had Sprocket, who really, I don't think necessarily wanted to be there. And he really just wanted to eat daisies and clover, and he would stop and eat at every chance he got. And then when the other 2 horses would kind of round a corner, he would run to catch up with them. And then he'd stop and eat. And this went on for 8 hours. So I wrote this song from the point of view of my horse, Sprocket. This show is going to turn into story time. I'd better sing a song.
Such a rush. Don't they see the sun's not going anywhere? And the clover greener everywhere. Close my eyes and breathe the forest air. Hold up, you're getting too far ahead. Don't, when you could stop and admire the view. Instead I run up too many hills, trying to keep you in my sights. I don't want to find myself alone here in the dark. Humans tear the trail up with their loud machines. Don't know why they're so set on disturbing peace when the birds are chirping everywhere. Don't they want to listen to the river flowing by? Hold up, you're getting too far ahead. I'm tired when you could stop and admire the view. Instead I run up too many hills, trying to keep you in my sights. I don't want to find myself alone here in the dark, and it's getting dark. It feels like we've been here all day. It feels like we don't know where we're going. It feels like we're walking for the sake of walking. Isn't it time to take a break? Seems like we've been out here for too long this time. Sun is going down and now it's getting cold, and the flies are biting everywhere. And this human on my back is so impatient. Hold up, you're getting too far ahead. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I want to rest. I will not run up another hill, trying to keep you in my sights. I don't want to find myself alone here in the dark. There, Sprocket. And I also just realized, I also did not do this intentionally, but I guess because I did intentionally group all the Newfoundland themed songs together that I have grouped, I believe that I have only 3 songs that reference ATVs, and I've put them back to back. This one I don't actually say ATVs, I just mention them. Loud machines. All right, so this next one, so that one was true. That really happened. I assume that that's more or less what was going through my horse's mind at the time. This next one is not true. However, it was inspired by, when I read the local news, there's often ATV incidents. And the headline was, drunk driver crashes ATV into the sea, and there was a photo of the 2 wheels of the ATV just sticking out of the harbor. The driver was fine, nobody was hurt. But I thought that was pretty, that was like, how drunk do you gotta be to drive your ATV into the sea? And I kind of wanted to write a song about misadventure on the way to the market. So this is a misadventure. Our adventure. Come, good people, all listen to my tale. On my way to the market, quite singular did occur. As I roved, my body wandered, with my mind off the path I was walking, all for to get bread and oil. Who knew I would fall so far into disrepute? Such ignominious fate lay in store for me. Who would have guessed? All for bread and oil. There I came across one in some distress, asking for my assistance in matters quite counter to any law. Would I be so kind as to mind their rig as they pick out their sundries? This ATV is hard to start, let it run. Who knew I would fall so far into disrepute? Such ignominious fate lay in store for me. Who would have guessed? All for bread and oil. Being a decent sort, I agreed to help, and it was in the driver's seat I was sitting when out they ran yelling, "Go, go, go." Saw the cashier's face, shock and sadness, saw the ruckus, heard the sirens, the chase is on. Deep into the woods when my partner, crime unasked for, made a leap and got away on foot with the loot, whatever that was. Unfamiliar with the trail, found myself back on the highway. See the blockade up ahead, local fire brigades involved. RCMP are closing in. Made the sharpest of turns to avoid hitting some local fishermen. Found myself hurtling toward the sea. Flew over the dock, Coast Guard picked me up on what later turned out to be stolen property. Drove recklessly through the bay. In the court dockets on the evening news, due to my disposition kind, I now must drive both far and wide for bread and oil. Who knew I would fall so far into disrepute? Such ignominious fate lay in store for me. Who would have guessed? All for bread and oil. There we go, bread and oil. All right, and then next on our little list is this is just a song I just wrote about going for a walk. So it's not any particular walk, but it does mention a lot of the things that one encounters here in Newfoundland when one goes for a walk. And if there was music playing at the beginning, it might have been this song actually. I was feeling kinda grumpy, couldn't be bothered with anything. Got up and put my shoes on, out the door, go see what's out there. I walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours, how good it is to go out for a walk. Saw what looked like bunny tracks, I followed them and fell into a bog. I scraped my knee as I crawled out and got feasted on by flies. Walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours. How good it is to go out for a walk. Dip my feet into a pond and stop to eat some berries on its shore, where I was scolded by the birds, and then some squirrels told me off. Some ATVs and turned around because I saw a moose. Walked down the street until I found a path that led into the woods. I lost myself for hours. How good it is to go out for a walk. It's good to go out walking. How good it is to go out. It's good to go out for a walk. Good it is. All right, and now we come to the next true adventure tale. The next true adventure tale, and this I sort of recently finished this one, and so this song is true. Everything in this song is true, and it's about. It is about a couple years ago. Me and my husband. Well, I guess last fall, me and my husband went camping, and we had booked the campground in advance, and we're like, "This is the weekend we're going camping," and we sort of like we were at the corner store picking up fuel for the Coleman stove, and like people in there were kind of talking about the storm that was coming, but we didn't really pay attention. And we went camping, and we were camping for 2 nights, and like it was, the first night was all right. It was kind of cold and damp, but that's camping in Newfoundland. And then like the next day it rained all day, but that's also camping in Newfoundland, so it was fine. We hung out in our tent. We were quite, well, as you'll hear in the song, we were quite content inside our tent. And then we vaguely noticed other campers packing up, but we didn't think anything about it. And then we noticed the park rangers come out and like start nailing things down, and we still didn't really think anything of it. And then it was too late, and it was dark, and it was stormy, and it was rainy, and there was a hurricane. And the next morning we got up and left, and discovered that we were the only people in the park in the campground. So then but we'd had a lovely time, and it reminded us of. I don't know if you've ever read the book Soul of a New Machine by Tracy Kidder, but it's a book about, it's nonfiction, but it's written like a novel, and it's about software development, and it sort of starts out with, I don't know if the main character is a therapist, but anyway, it's like, a person who for vacation, they jump out of planes and heli-ski and that sort of like extreme stuff, extreme adventure stuff, and somebody is asking them like if that's what you do for fun, like what's your day job like? And we were like, yeah, what is our day job? What is our day-to-day like if camping in a hurricane is our idea of relaxing? So that's all of that is how this song came about. Chatter at the corner store reported that a storm was likely coming. We walked out with our camping goods, fuel for the Coleman stove unfazed. We booked the campsite in advance, and after work we went on Friday night. We pitched our tent and sang some songs and cooked our supper underneath the stars. And we turned back from our morning hike. The rain displayed no signs of letting up. Decided not to use the boat. The waters of the pond looked like the ocean. We huddled in our tent all afternoon, enjoying one another's company. With pens and notebooks, making plans, making changes for the coming year. And it did not occur to us to change our plan. A little wind, a little rain won't close down our parade. We were quite content inside our tent, huddled together while outside the storm raged. And it makes a person question all the things we are accepting in the daily grind. If a nice relaxing weekend is best achieved by camping in a hurricane. We huddled in the rain to cook. We ate our supper sitting in the car. We noticed other campers near us tearing down and calling it a day. We didn't think much of it at the time. No warning bell rang when we saw the park rangers come out in force, shutting windows, nailing doors down. It did not occur to us to change our plan. A little wind, a little rain won't close down our parade. We were quite content inside our tent, huddled together while outside the storm raged. And it makes a person question all the things we are accepting in the daily grind. But a nice relaxing weekend is best achieved by camping in a hurricane. And the rain poured down, and the wind grew stronger, wilder, deadlier, and the trees they danced like a drunkard at a party, falling down. But it was now too late, too dark, too wet, and much too dangerous to flee. Well, we made it through the night unscathed. Couldn't get out of that campground fast enough. We didn't bother folding tents or rolling up our sleeping bags at all. We threw them in the trunk as soon as daylight came and slowly hit the gas. And all along that one-way road we saw we were the only morons left. Well, it did not occur to us to change our plan. A little wind, a little rain won't close down our parade. We were quite content inside our tent, huddled together while outside the storm raged. But it makes a person question all the things we take for granted in the daily grind. If a nice relaxing weekend is best achieved by camping in a hurricane. Hurricane. Wonder what album that will go on. All right. So we move from true adventures. That was a true adventure. To pure whimsy. And this one is off my Vagaries EP, which is the purple EP. I wear my purple dress, my purple fluvox. About a dinner party gone horribly awry. We should have had a lovely time, a pleasant evening shared with friends around the table gathered for a meal. It set the places all so nicely, matching linens, place cards too. I was so looking forward to the night. But no, instead we're here in this cave. I planned a dinner party, now we're a party of adventurers. I was prepared to face a mountain of dishes. Now I'm facing certain doom. And as I gaze into the gaping maw of death, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the can of condensed milk? The recipe I promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder must have lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. By now the guests had all arrived, and in the kitchen did converge. The wine was set to breathing for our meal. The food was all prepared, only one thing left to go. When the timer rang, I beamed out the dessert. But no, instead we're here in this cave. I planned a dinner party, now we're a party of adventurers. I was prepared to seek out the finest vintage. Now I seek some magic sword, and as I gaze upon the teeth that could be swords, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the can of condensed milk? The recipe I promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder must have lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up a gate. And they all look to me like I'm some chosen one to lead us through this maze, return us to our homes, with only oven mitts, craft beer apron for armor. I fear that we are destined not to have, but to be dinner. And I wish I'd read less novels and spent more time at the gym. And as I am slipping down the gullet to my doom, I ask, whatever possessed me to look under the label on the can of condensed milk? The recipe I promised turned out to be a spell, and the magic baking powder must have lived up to its name. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up the gate. We didn't open up the oven, we opened up the gate. There we go. All right. So next on our list, we've got two more songs left, and I didn't write either one of them. This is one I've been sort of covering recently, and it's if you're Canadian, whimsy is good. We like whimsy around here, Bob. This one is this is a Lisa Lougheed song, which you might recognize as the theme song to the Raccoons, but I feel that it implies adventure. Darkness falls, leaving shadows in the night. Don't be afraid, wipe those tears from your eyes. If a desperate love keeps driving you wrong, don't be afraid, you're not alone. You can run with us, we got everything you need. Run with us, we are free. Come with us, I see passion in your eyes. Run with us. When the cold wind blows, turn your collar to the cold. Don't be ashamed if you need someone to hold. If you're sinking in quicksand and it's dragging you down, you feel you're going under, we'll be around. You can run with us, we got everything you need. Run with us, we are free. Come with us, I see passion in your eyes. Come with us. When you're behind closed doors, all alone by yourself, and you're longing inside to be somebody else, you pick up the telephone and there's no one on the line. Don't be afraid, 'cause there's still time. You can run with us, we got everything you need. Run with us, we are free. Come with us, we got passion in your eyes. Come with us. Run with us, we got everything you need. Run with us, we are free. Come with us, I see passion in your eyes. Run with us. There. The raccoons. Part of my, I'm like slowly building up a slightly bizarre Canadiana set, which will probably be the theme one of these days. All right, we're gonna close with a very old song. This is an old Scottish song, and this sort of is the returning home from adventure. And I think about the song. So I just returned home from adventure, and of course we take the ferry to Port Basque, and sort of coming in, you start seeing all the rocks. You know, you're sort of on the open water, and then these little chunks of rocks start showing up, and you know you're getting close to shore. And I always think about that when I sing this song. And when I first found this song, I thought these lyrics made me think of that. So this is a very old Scottish song. Green lies the dancing water, green, purple, barred with gold. Brown winged my boat flies o'er, brown winged I lap the water. White the keel, the curling wavelet tosses high, spraying round. Hey man, da, hitty-o-ro, hey man, da, hitty-o, leaving the loose to leeward, blithely a sailing seaward. White the keel, the curling wavelet tosses high, spraying round. seals that rise, plunging beneath the water, plunging with sharp surprise, with eyes of fear and wild alarm as our white ship past thither flies. Amen, hidio, amen, hidio, leaving those to leeward, blithely sailing seaward, wait the keel, the curling wavelet tosses high, spring round. I'll now bide our seats as we sail o'er the Minster sky. Blue cliffs are loose reliefs, the white cliffs are drawing nigh, the black crags of sky that beetling, frowning down through a veil of mist, on our frail craft are tearing high. Amen, heaving shoreward, amen, hidio, tower high the seas behind us, tower high the cliffs afore us, by the shore we lie at anchor. Amen, and there we go, there we go. There is our weekly Wednesday warble for today. And I have not considered my themes for the rest of the month yet. So we'll be back next week, though. We'll be back every Wednesday in April, that's for sure. We'll be back next week with 10 more songs on a different theme. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And I'm really pleased to be back with internet and not driving 7 hours. To be able to sing these songs for you. So I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and take care.